you can now support this channel on Patreon. Warning, this video is from my perspective only, and as such, should not be taken too seriously.
よかったわ。これでまた長生きできるね。ヤトちゃん、信者は一元さんばっかだし、新規にも恵まれないし、心配してたのよね。途切れ途切れの人の記憶の中で生き続けるのは、きっと不安だったと思うの。
I like this moment a lot because it finally delves into great details as to how the whole system of gods existing in the first place actually works. The explanation is clear and simple and makes a lot of sense, and also goes towards character progression for both himself and Hiyori in explaining why she means so much to him. I've spoken about elements such as these in other Everything Great About videos in the past. My theory is that times like this, of friends sitting around and chatting, eating and laughing together in a place which starts to become familiar to the viewer, really helps to end up sticking a specific anime in your mind. A great example for me personally that I often call back to is the apartment in Steins Gate. It's a place where we see multiple episodes of laughter, talking and of course action depending on the episode, and even though I haven't seen it in years, I can perfectly picture the apartment and what furniture was there, for example. This anime also does a similar thing, albeit to a slightly lesser degree given its admittedly wider world that it takes place in. Because we get to see this house on multiple occasions, and after a while it stops becoming some house. It becomes a place of calm in our minds, a fond memory to think back on when you recall the anime itself and what it meant to you at the time when you first watched it. This is my theory anyway, but I'd love to know what your thoughts on the matter are in those comments below. I'm going to add a massive 7 wins here because this for me is a really important aspect that keeps an anime in my mind for years to come after having watched it through. The killing of this fucking dirtbag. I always thought that what happens here and what ends up coming from these next few episodes was a fantastic direction to take the second season in, with Ebisu taking a much bigger upcoming role. He was actually a character that I very much grew to like, because what the anime started you off thinking he would be ended up not being the case in the slightest, and I really enjoyed that old bait and switch. By the end of the season and what happened to him, I ended up thinking he was a most excellent character, truth be told.
ここで時間を割くわけにもいかない。帰ってから改めて会えばいい。ヤトガミいつも暇。
俺はあんたを助けに来たんだ。
お、ここにも。
だから目合わせんなって。
I absolutely adore the next 30 seconds of Ebisu being absolutely clueless and keep getting himself into trouble only to be saved by Yaoto quickly in the nick of time, but it's his calm and carefree attitude that just makes it all the more funny. The brilliantly smooth animation of this battle is the flowing water of a lovely stream of awesomeness.
何かとても大切なことを忘れてるような。
行こう、日和。
This moment excellently portrays not only the dangers of forgetting Yaoto and crew when she's not around them often, but also does a lovely job of showing us how much the two of them mean to her by her reaction here to realizing that she's forgetting something extremely important to herself. I love this moment so much for its subtle character development because we're seeing, at least in my eyes, that she feels she's betrayed someone but obviously can't recall who yet. Then we see this painful red mark appear on her lip, telling us she's clearly been wiping her mouth a lot since it happened.
思い出した全部。ユキネ君、ヤト、大事な約束。私忘れかけてた。
I'd be an absolute piece of shit liar if I said I didn't shed a tear at this extremely touching moment. Shut up, you're crying! Oh god, that's bloody awful to know that those poor regalia were just thrown to the wolves like that, and they did it in such a way that even though it just appears like pieces of clothing being ripped apart, you know in fact it's actually a soul disappearing, and not only that, but his close friends as well.
わしは今でこそおとなしくしてやっている。大昔には天と争ったことがあって。
An easy 5 wins here, not only for this awesome badass and how he deals with the situation by kind of going nuts on them, but then also the rescue by Kazuma just made the scene incredible for me personally. It's also great because it gives us some foreshadowing as to a past war with Heaven, and this plays quite a big part coming up soon.
オリーブ県の定食が食べたいかな。
上等だ。その願い、この宿神が聞き届けた。後でご縁払えよ。
God, what an outstanding moment in the anime. Yaoto brilliantly shows his strength of character by not taking the deal and instead once again deciding to rescue Ebisu. Then after this, there's that epic thrill of the escape followed by the horror of Yaoto being pulled back down into the underworld. Easily worth yet another 5 wins, I think.
ユキネ君はヤトの唯一無二なんだよ。
唯一。
本当よ。でも
一戦。
Now that was fucking awesome, my boy. I know he's young and sometimes can act a little rash and insecure, but this is where Hiyori is like a perfect friend to him. She knows just what to say to help him. Another thing I adore about Noragami is that you never feel like character development is being shoved in your face when it's occurring, and it's painfully obvious that if there was a test you should be taking notes at this point in time, whereas Noragami effortlessly interweaves its character progression expertly into the scenes to the point where it sticks in your mind, but you're not even fully aware it's happened. That for me is one of the many hallmarks of a great anime.
私にも分かることがある。ヤトガミには待つ者がいる。奴は変えらねばならない。
She seriously did end up turning into such an incredible character by this point in the season. I just thought the direction they took her character in the storyline was perfect for future episodes, and the fact that she went in to find Yaoto and bring him back alive is just amazing after what happened between them all those years ago.
代替わりなどしない。私は私だ。替えが聞いてたまるか。
ティーナ。
Oh my god, she is so fucking badass! This is so amazing because it's world building on a scale previously unseen throughout all of the previous episodes of Noragami. We get to find out loads about the gods and how they operate over the last few episodes, but now we get an actual battle and the setup for it is done brilliantly.
守れ戦機。やはりあやかしを刺激しているぞ。敵機。
And now we get to witness the start of this great battle, which typically has always been very hard to do in an anime, more so when you don't rely on CGI to get the job done. So kudos to the animators for not only not relying heavily on CGI, but also doing a great job of creating a large-scale battle in the first place.
お社作ってあげた時、ヤトとっても喜んでた。ずっと欲しがってたものだから、あの時彫った名前は間違ってないはずなんです。
No, you shut up! Once again, you lot are the ones clearly tearing up. I just happened to be cutting some onions for my dinner tonight. Even though I hate onions with a passion. But still. Damn it! Not only does the action prove to get really intense as hell here, but they also employ some simply wonderful looking CGI into the mix in order to create this ring and make it look as good as possible. The final few minutes of this episode are just amazing, truth be told. Seeing Yaoto and Yukine become so powerful as to take down such a dominant heavenly super weapon like this was fantastic, adding 4 wins for the whole end to that episode.
エビスはこれにしたら。
いえ、僕は煮込みバーグで。
Just for the record, this kid is totes adorbs. Oh man, that's so legitimately bloody sad, and that music in the background as well.
俺やだ死にたくない。
Oh my goodness me, I can't show what happens on YouTube since he literally explodes, but what happens just before and the amazing voice acting is easily worth 5 wins, I think. This time I shall make no jokes, this had me tearing up for real. To hear him shout "I don't want to die" was just so heartbreaking seconds before it then happened to him.
ありがとうございます、知女さん。ヤトさんに教えていただきました。毘沙門さんの本当の名だと。
This made me laugh far harder than it should have.
いるなら皿ぐらい洗え。風呂ぐらい沸かせ。いつまでもポケットした顔してないで。人が作った飯ぐらい残さず食えってんだ。
ヤトちゃんいない間、屋根裏部屋は毎日お掃除してたもんね。お布団もしっかり干してあげてたよね。
This is another example of sly character building. It's basically telling us that despite the way he often has spoken to Yato, he actually did miss having him around for the month or so that he disappeared. For the entire rest of this episode, I'm adding a final 6 wins to bring us up to 190 wins total. The episode itself had some truly memorable moments despite there not being any action. Yato chose Yukine and vice versa, and it was an incredible moment where the team would be forever solidified. I can only now hope that one day we get a season 3 so we can revisit these characters in this incredibly unique story and world, and that would be an honour. Thanks so much for watching everyone, and I'll see you in the next video. Oh, also foreshadowing like a motherfucking boss up in here. Please give us a season 3, goddammit.
やがて巡り巡る季節に僕らは
Thank you to the following patrons: Nathan Burr, Vupu, Leon Lutger, Joaquin Jimenez Villaluenga, Manuel Meza, Josiah May, Helgi Gunlaugson, Lawrence, Ikodi, Val Sobel, Joel Rosenfeld, BZX001, David Pickfans, Chris Harris, Daniel Musgrave, Joshua Viker, Xenon, Zachary Kling, Hunter Layfield, Avery Azell, Gajivi Trash, Matthew Farmer, Richard Gray, Kyle Farmer, Theodore Quackens, Kaj Vorzelman, Jordan Samuels, Scott Harris, Nikolaj Anderson, and to all of the other patrons supporting me. Thank you.
Wake up, it's fly.
Reach the wizard.
It's fly.